This is extra for me to speak without notes, but I do want to just kind of read from what my wife and I put together this morning. This is from both of us. And it's simply this. This coalition assembled here today is an outgrowth of us learning how to incorporate the 3 C's. Earlier I talked about the 3 C's: cooperation, collaboration, and communication. Advancing Education, Reducing Crime Day is all about partnership.
We understand when it comes to education, it's not just about what's happening in the schools, it's about what's happening in the city. I'm encouraged that the mayor's here, he's putting resources in as far as his police department, the WRTA, to make sure that this is a successful event. We cannot do it in isolation as a school district. We have goals, we have strategies that we put in place, but without the support of the community, whether the community's 8 hours away or 8 minutes away. We need everybody here standing behind our kids. I say it all the time, we believe all kids can learn, that all kids want to learn, and it's up to the adults to make it happen. The adults like John, the adults that are here in this room today, the adults that will be joining us over the years and hopefully coming on April 22nd, those are the adults that make it happen. It's not just the CEO, it's not just the principal, it's not just the teachers, it's all of us. We cannot do this without your support.
And this opportunity for us, and when I say us, I mean all of us. I'm a Strother City kid. My paternal grandparents grew up on Berkeley Avenue. Dad went to East, didn't graduate, but he went to East at least. And so I've always had a connection to the Mahoning Valley. And there are many folks in the Mahoning Valley who also have a connection to Youngstown. And we talk a lot about our role as suburban schools and suburban communities to make sure that Youngstown is successful. Because when Youngstown is successful, that will benefit our entire community. And so we all have a stake in that. Let me just say one other thing. We talk a lot about the opportunities to teach kids about diversity. And we don't have as many opportunities. And so through programs like this, our kids, and a lot of them in suburban schools, don't have diversity, just like there's not a lot of diversity here in Youngstown. So we have an opportunity now to teach kids about diversity. And the more we're able to do that, the more we can overcome those barriers that exist out there. And that's when we can truly start to work together to make sure that, you know, everybody is successful as possible. So, you know, a lot of, I know Mr. Howe's reached out to the superintendents. I know Canfield and Poland and a couple other school districts are going to participate as much as they can. And more will do that. We have a meeting next week, a superintendent's meeting, and so I'm interested to see that the involvement that the suburban schools will have.
For those who don't know me, I'm Rolando Rojas, and I'm senior pastor at Spanish Evangelical Church. We are a bilingual, multicultural urban ministry, and I am so excited about this activity, not necessarily and only because of the advancing education and the reducing crime element, but because of the leadership that we have through John and Adrian and the awareness that they have that this has to reach everyone. Not only the English-speaking people, but the Spanish-speaking as well. So I'm excited about this. And so our church is excited. We got many other Spanish churches involved in this as well. So there will be no shortage of interpreters and translators for any materials that you may have. Just give it to us with time and we'll do the best that we can.
Each one of the schools is over time also going to be part of our Safe Routes to School program as well, where there'll be some sidewalk improvements, signage improvements. Taft Elementary School was the first school that's going to see some improvements. I think they're either starting this year or next year on those projects in cooperation with Youngstown Neighborhood Development Corporation, the City's Board of Health, the Youngstown City School District, and then the Ohio Department of Transportation. But I think the one thing that John talked about maybe at the end of his remarks is that the collaboration and cooperation between different entities, really to help our city and perhaps most importantly to help our city schools. That collaboration and that cooperation needs to continue. Chris Mohib and his staff and Joe Nora can't fix the city school district overnight. They can't fix it by themselves. They can't fix it without the help of the faith-based community. They can't fix it without the help of other entities of government. They can't help it without the public library system. They can't help it with good folks like the Howells and Maria Cougars Pappas and Penny Wells, who are helping organize this event. For us to improve, for the city schools to improve, for us to become better every day, we need to have those continued partnerships. I see my good friend Guy Burney from our SERVE program, just leaving this weekend on a college tour with a bunch of students from Youngstown City Schools, from Valley Christian, and a couple other entities, getting kids out of our community to see what exists outside the city of Youngstown, see what exists in the nation's capital and around there, and the opportunities that can be presented to everybody, no matter their lot in life right now. Kids have to dream big, and a trip like that is going to help people dream big. So thanks to Guy for that work as well. But I just wanted to say that the City of Youngstown fully supports the events of April 22nd. I look forward to being here, and I know our police department will be here, our community police officers, our K-9 units will be here for the kids to see up front and get more comfortable with officers. And then we look forward to the walks that will be done throughout each community, around each school later in the day.
I've been looking to collaborate with an organization in the city of Youngstown so that we can give back. I think it's important that the community sees that the investment that they've made in our agency, we're using that investment to give back to our community. So I reached out to John, he told me about the program, I read it, and I said, we've got to get together. His schedule was here, my schedule was there, but we communicated back and forth on Facebook, believe it or not, inboxing each other. And I am very excited. My agency will be around to all 4 of the schools to show these kids, they need to see themselves in us. So they need to see that it's cool to read, that we want to encourage them and uplift them so that they can continue to excel onto higher education and to be entrepreneurs. So that's why we collaborated with John, and I'm looking forward to April 22nd.
John has not only invested in his community, but he has invested in our church, our local congregation. His aunt just happens to be a teacher who taught in Youngstown City Schools for 50 years. And she's an intricate part of our membership. As a matter of fact, she started and founded our after-school program. We also have a summer program, and we thank God for partners like the library and SERVE who help us to do these programs during the summer and also during the year. So we as a church, we're just an extension of our community. One thing about the church, and we get a lot of bad publicity because we don't get into every fight. We don't do everything that happens. We can. So our church just happens to be a church that is passionate about education and about our children. So therefore, we are able to join with John and extend that ministry in our community and be a part of that. So we thank God for John, we thank God for the mayor and all the partners, because without you, we cannot do this. And this is very, I think John has given us a blueprint on how to really do this thing if we're gonna do it community-wide.